And we are live. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Let's Talk Fishing video podcast. My name is Jay Angel. I'm going to be your host for this evening. First thing I'd like to go over is the Northern Illinois Sports and Outdoor Show is here, guys. It's upon us. It starts on Thursday, January 13th. We'll run to January 16th. That's 4 days of sports shows. That's going to be at the Lake County Fairgrounds. That's in Grays Lake, Illinois. Come on out there, guys. I know every one of the exhibitors out there. We have an all-star lineup of pros that are going to be doing seminars. And please come out and see the world-class booth that Grant Rod is going to have. You're going to go in there and they're going to put some of the best rods in the world in your hands. I'm really excited. I wish I could be up there, but circumstances do not allow me to. Anyways, I'm very excited tonight. I have Roger from Crusher Lures. That's all I can say about this guy, man. He does a little bit of everything. So how you doing tonight, Roger?
We're doing great, man. We're doing great, Jay. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your program once again and give a little information out to everybody and talk to the fans and stuff like that.
Roger and I were talking before the show. I am excited for Crusher Lures for 2022. They have all kinds of things going on, man. This guy's just, as I get to know more people in the fishing industry, if you want to be in the fishing industry, you want to be successful, you just got to give up sleep. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you need to work about 18, 19 hours a day. Yeah.
At least. Yeah. So what do you got for this year to show us, Roger?
As far as company-wise or new products, we got 2 brand new products we're going to come out with this year.
Well, I can't wait to see them.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, you know Rob Welsh, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He wants to say, hey, Roger, he's on watching.
Hey, man, I appreciate all you do for us. Appreciate it. He's a real good angler and a real good promoter for our company. He's been with us since day one on our, pro staff level and ambassador programs and stuff like that. And he gets out there and gets after it. So he's an enthusiastic follower of us. So I appreciate all his hard work.
He's one of my better friends too. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So yeah, like you were saying, like the 2 brand new items we have as far as coming out with, as in brand new, to be introduced at this show. We're going to a show. We leave tomorrow for setup over in Raleigh, North Carolina. So anybody that might be in that Raleigh area can stop by that show and see us and check out a couple of new products. First product we have, this is going to be introduced next week. I guess everybody can see this. We have a product called a shaker head, which is a recessed line tie shaky head designed for some finesse fishing. If you can look at it real good.
Oh yeah, we can see it better there because if you put it in front of your face, yeah, we can see it.
Right. Yeah, this is a product that we took off of our popular shaker head design, and basically we added the screw lock to it. So everything about the shaker head that we had is the same, but we added that screw lock to it. The other thing that we're really, really excited about, we got with one of our pro staffers that fishes on the Bassmaster Open trail. He's a collegiate champion, fishes Bassmaster Opens, and narrowly missed qualifying for the elites his first year out fishing Opens. But we got with him. His name is Wesley Gore. He's a local stick around here. Does a lot of good for us. And in this package here, this is our new legendary swim bait head. Everybody can see that. I got one out of the package also. So the legendary swim bait head. And if I show you the product up close, all right, we took a really nice swim bait head, and you see on the water channel on the top,
yeah,
and it cuts down the side. It doesn't go all the way to the back. See how it cuts down the side? So that water channel there will funnel the water over the top of your bait and down the sides. And we found that it keeps it more level when it comes through the water column. So when you retrieve it, you don't have a lot of rollover with it. The other thing you'll see taken off of some of our like heavy finesse and our shaker head is the recessed line tie right here. How it's recessed partially down into the head itself.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah, look at that.
So we stayed with that kind of design. Of course, it's got a screw lock on the hook itself. And then we use all swim bait heads out there use like a mustad hook or either an eagle claw. And then we put a premium Gamakatsu hook on it. So we've got this. They got that in about 7 different SKUs. It's going to be a really big hit. It's just a really good designed bait, really well designed by him. We appreciate his work in helping us out with those things, and they are just hitting some stores now, and of course on our online webpage. So as far as new items goes, that's the news. That's the news you get. One of them will be out in about 2 weeks, and that the swim bait head is out now, just this week.
Wow. So do you have some of your other products you could show us just for fun?
Yeah, I guess I do have our Cajun Rig. Now this is a pretty new product that we came out with. It's got a long backstory, and I won't go through the whole backstory. It's on another one of your podcasts before.
Sure.
But now it's our Cajun Rig. It's designed to increase your Carolina rigging efficiency, reduces hang-ups by about 90%. That sled design on the weight itself comes through the cover real well. And then, of course, it is packaged with some sonar beads, which is a patented internal rattling bead. Let me see if I can get these over here. The sonar bead, the sonar ball.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that thing, you put it on your leader line. I can't stress that enough.
Oh, yeah.
We've had some, yeah, you tie your Carolina rig like normal.
Yeah.
And then you put the sonar ball on your leader line itself, and it has a little bit of buoyancy to it, and it will float up against your bait, and it takes that rattling sound and puts it against your bait. So you don't want fish striking the weight. You want their attention drawn to the product itself, whatever you're throwing. So that's where that goes. So that's a fairly new product that we've had out that we've seen tremendous success with.
That Cajun Rig, I would like to throw that. I fished a lot of riprap shorelines. I lived up north.
Right.
In fact, that was my favorite. That was my favorite cover to target.
Yeah. And the Cajun Rig is of course I'm here in my office and I own Southern Spin Casting also, and we do contract and private label work for about 60 other accounts and build tackle for a lot of national brands, and we get a lot of visitors come by, and John Cruz gave us a huge shout out on his private page about the Cajun Rig. He really liked the design and of course using it. And then a couple of our newer guys on the pro tour, they're really excited about being able to use a lot of our newer products also.
I can see why. That's some interesting stuff you have. I really like it.
Yeah, we try to and it's like I go over with people at the retail shows that we'll do like this week, is everybody has a spinnerbait and everybody has a jig and everybody has a shaky head. And what we try to do as a company is take one or two parts of those products and make them unique to us. So you can go in a store and buy a white spinnerbait from anybody.
Yes.
So we make a spinnerbait that's an ultra light wire spinnerbait. So every product that we have has a unique quality about it, whether it's a recessed line tie, ultra light wire on the spinnerbait and buzzbait. Unique colors. We have a couple of colors that's unique to our company that you can't find anywhere else. So it enables us to go into some of these stores and expand their product lines and be a little bit different. So it's able, it enables the angler to have some kind of edge, I believe, over some other products.
And your buddy Cajun Rob says that his favorite Cajun rig, that's his favorite, the Cajun rig with sonar balls on the Carolina rig.
Yeah, well, that thing really reduces your hangups. I know that we hear that a million times as fishermen that this bait don't get hung up. I'm not saying it won't get hung up.
No,
if I throw it, I'll probably get it wedged in everything. But
absolutely,
the fact is, it absolutely works. We've had it tested by locals. We've had it tested by pros. That design, we were able to bring that bait out. A man that developed that from Louisiana, and he's passed on now, but we had signed an agreement with him, and then we have a licensing agreement with the sonar balls to keep the products in the package exactly the way they were packaged, over 15, 20 years ago. So when they were out under the Cajun Tackle or Bayou, I guess it's Bayou Rattler Company now, out of Texas, and that's who produces that sonar ball. And the design came from him, and it's been used for years and years, and it hasn't been marketed quite the way the way we do it. So hopefully it really catches on. It sells real well. Our local stores here, stores that have picked it up all across Kentucky and Tennessee area, and then it's one of our best sellers on Tackle Warehouse.
I bet it is. I bet it is. That's exciting. You also have some exciting additions to the the Crusher Lures promotions team, don't you?
Well, we really do. We've really we've been fortunate enough over the last couple of years. Cliff Crochet, of course, is re-signed with us for another 2-year stint with us, and he does really well. He has a signature series spinner bait that's one of our bread and butter spinner baits. It's the compact spinner bait. So Cliff Crochet's with us, and we really wanted to expand into every tournament trail. So we kind of aggressively went after a lot of pro staffers and gained a lot of interest and everything. But this year on the Bassmasters Trail, as far as the Bassmasters Elite Trail, we were really excited to be able to welcome 2-time winner and 3-time classic qualifier, Jamie Hartman.
Nice.
So Jamie Hartman is signed on with Crusher Lures, and he's going to endorse. Of course, he's going to throw the full line, and he's endorsed all the products. He's really excited, and we're really excited to have him. He's got a lot of great ideas about product design, and of course his track record with tournament fishing. He's one of the better ones that's out there. So we're really excited about that.
I know I saw some exciting footage of him winning an Elite Series event on Gunthorsville a couple years ago. And he was throwing topwater, and he just cleaned up. I mean, just all of a sudden, bang, 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 and the cameraman just happened to be in his boat. Oh, that was exciting.
Yeah, well, that always would be. He's got 2 wins, one at Cayuga, and I guess it's in New York, and then one on Guntersville, and he's really focused on hoisting another blue trophy, and we're excited to see it and have the potential that he does it on one of our products.
And that is 2 places that are really a lot of competition, and he's fishing against the best guys in the world. Wow.
Right. And we have him, and then we also have Kevin Timms. He currently lives in Wisconsin. He is going to be a new angler on the new trail in PFL.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's going to be fishing. He runs a full wrap ride on that from us, and then of course Wesley Gore's on the Bass Opens, and then we have newcomer. Well, Nikki Jo Hatton's going to fish the Ladies Trail, and she's fishing Toyota Central.
Wow.
We also have Sean Bunton, Clayton Barnes, and our newcomer that's the reigning, I guess, rookie of the year in the Ladies Professional Anglers Association, Stephanie Pellerin.
Okay.
So we've signed her, and it's an exciting year. We're really trying to get out there, and we're of course still steadily growing our pro staff base.
Yes.
As far as anglers that come on and sign up with us that way. So we have that going on as far as the pro staff departments, and then we're doing a lot of shows. We'll be at the Bassmasters Classic. I'm sure you probably try to attend that.
I could have attended it last year if I hadn't had surgery the next week. Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to go if they would have had it in March,
Well, yeah, and they had the virus moved everything backwards. It's got everything messed up. You ought to try ordering hooks.
But I'm saying enough of my hostility there. It wasn't Bassmaster's fault. I'm certainly not blaming them.
Right,
They
right.
would have loved to have had it in March when it wasn't 119 degrees outside.
I bet they would. I mean, it had to be a logistic nightmare.
Oh, man, can you imagine how much work that was?
Yeah, for them to have to change midstream. I mean, that's not a fruit jar terminal on Saturday, So, but and we are speaking of shows. I know it's not open necessarily to the public, but we're working hard to bring out a couple of new things, and we will be I guess we have a booth, and we'll be a displaying vendor at the ICAST this
Oh,
year.
nice. Good for you guys, man.
So
That'll be a lot. That'll be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I think so. We've got 3 teams fishing the ICAST Cup, and we're going to be displaying at the ICAST show and talking to a lot of vendors and really trying to grow our footprint. And that's the biggest thing with our company being a growing company is we're trying to grow our footprint and get into a lot of areas that we hadn't been in, and that's where a lot of our pro staffers have really come to help. I know, a lot of like guys like Sean and them down South Alabama, and Dustin Lindsay that fishes for us down there. He's really worked hard and got us in several stores and all that. So those guys, it's funny. We get calls. I get calls and emails every day.
I'm sure you do.
About pro staffers, and the first question I always ask them is, "Do you throw our stuff?"
Do you throw our stuff? Wow.
I mean, you'd be surprised at the number of people that just send random emails. They'll just send random emails out to everybody wanting a sticker or a 10% discount for somebody, and they're not the ones that we want pushing the product. We really need people that love it, love the sport, want to promote the sport, believe in the products, use the products, and understand growing a company.
And are willing to think outside the box. And, like you said, I like guys who want to grow the sport.
Right.
Let's pass this on to the next generation. Let's pass it on to this generation, because a lot of even guys my age don't fish. And I don't understand that. Get off the freaking couch.
It's we went through a couple of years ago that saw a decline in the sale of fishing licenses. So you didn't have as many people fishing, and then I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. But when the coronavirus hit, COVID hit, a lot of the shutdowns, people picked up a fishing rod they wanted to get out of the house and go do something, and fishing seemed to be a natural fit, I guess. You
can do it by yourself,
Right, and it bled over from, you had I guess families that would normally go to an arcade somewhere or a bowling alley, and you picked up some fishing rods and some worms.
Or the Xbox.
Right, and now you have a shortage of everything.
Yeah,
that's still an ongoing nightmare.
That was one of my favorite lines when I was guiding. When a kid says, "Man, this just isn't easy." I'm like, "You're not playing Bass Fishing version 6 on the Xbox here, man. This is real life."
Right. Well, yeah, I remember years ago. Bass fishing on a video game is a lot of fun. We always get in those expos early, and I can't remember what year it was. We did the classic back when I had Envision lures, and it was in Charlotte, North Carolina at that time, and we got in, and they had some Sega bass fishing video game, and people would sneak through the vendor door and play that thing in early in the morning. Everybody in the world would line up for that.
Everybody was sneaking in and playing at 4 o'clock in the morning. Huh?
Yeah, you'd have 5 fish weigh 100 pounds. So,
geez, 5 fish weigh 100 pounds.
It was
fishing for tuna.
Yeah.
That's funny. That is funny.
Well, and you talk about growing the sport. I think me and you had talked about before. Crusher Lures is a major supporter as far as we're an enthusiastic supporter of NSR.
We did talk about that. Yes, I totally support you in that.
Yeah, right. And and they're growing. I think they got a lot more kids signed up, and we made an announcement last weekend, I guess it was, that we had started, last year or so, a seminar program where we'll come into the high schools or schools in general in the areas and do a seminar program. Me and one of our pro staffers, John Pollard, um, he's a BS Open guy. He guides on Lake Martin and
Ooh.
Jordan. And in case, just if anybody's down here that wants to catch fish, they can look him up on Facebook. That's John under John Pollard Fishing. But he fishes our stuff. But he's also a recruiter and fishing team director for Faulkner University out of Montgomery. And he does a good job. And he travels with me and does the seminars. And we had made the decision that we didn't want the seminar to be an infomercial to where, I picked up a spinnerbait or a jig and just talked about wire size and bait size and all that. And we do answer those questions when we get them, but we go over to the schools. We go over more like what the industry is about, how to search out sponsors, how to try to turn, your passion into a monetary field. And then John talks a lot about getting into college, getting into a university, what it takes, ACT preps, grades, attendance, all those things. So it combines it in there. It's not a boring seminar at all, and we talk about the industry and everything. And then we do course question and answers, and we do some door prizes and some giveaways. So it's fun. But I put out a message on our Facebook page, and if anybody's watching tonight that happens to be a high school or a junior high or a university coach even, and wants us to come to your school, we don't have to sponsor your school to come there. We do a lot of we have a lot of high schools that we support, and several universities that we support, but we don't have to sponsor your particular school to come do a seminar program because it's not an infomercial. Regardless of who you're sponsored by, we enjoy trying to spread the word about the sport and the industry as a whole, and just the good morals about it. And so what I'd ask to do is, if you're a coach and you're watching tonight, you want us to come, if you'll email us off our webpage is fine, and just the dates that you have lined up that you hope that we could come. What I've been doing is lining up these dates, and then I get with the pro staff member, me and John, and we go through and figure out which date we can attend. So we can't be at them all, but we figure out which ones we can be at, and then I'll email you back and get a contact and call you and go over it with you. And I do have a list of pro staffers that's out of state, so we can take this program or our little seminar series, to different areas. We're not really confined to Alabama. So,
Sure.
and being we're right in the central part of the state. We're based out of Clanton, Alabama. We're right on the Coosa River. But we've done seminars as far as, I guess we went down to Baldwin County. That's one of our big schools that we sponsor there. And when we go that far, we kind of turned it into a regional event. I think we had eight teams there, 8 programs, and had 90 something kids. Cliff Crochet stopped by, bought all the kids pizza. We had a really good time. So, if they're interested in getting a seminar series together, just let me know. So we'll do what we can about being, attending that.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, like we talked about before, grow the sport, man.
Right. Well, I think that's that's the lifeblood of, our ulterior motive is they grow up and use our products. But
well, if you grow the sport, you're going to have more people who use your products. I like to say feed the addiction.
Right.
Because our enthusiasm, our addiction is just as addictive as heroin, but it's not as destructive.
Well, right. You have to stay away from the putting everything on a credit card bill and running it up and But
No, I've done that too.
yeah, haven't we all? But yeah, it's a very it can be a very nice sport, and uh, brings a lot of awareness, and you learn a lot on the lake, and spending time and camaraderie with others that you don't get from a school somewhere. But not
Well,
saying that, of course, education isn't important, but you
well,
do
like when
learn
I
a lot of life lessons.
like when I was in high school, I wrestled, but also I
Mhm.
fished all the time. I'm still fishing, and there's no way I could wrestle at this part of my life. It would probably kill me if I had my head smashed against the mat at 110 miles an hour, you know?
Right,
But
right. Well,
I'm still fishing, and I still love it. I passed it on to my son. I'm gonna pass it on to my grandsons and anybody else who still stands still long enough to listen to me.
I fished in high school, and I fished a lot in high school, and I went out for the wrestling team. I was on the wrestling team my freshman year in high school, and of course all the seniors. The high school I went to was Fultondale High School up in just north of Birmingham, Alabama, and that's what it's known for. They've probably won more state championships out of Fultondale than most places. That was their passion, and those guys were really committed to it. And
They were
I got
crazy.
I got put into some move that I was wrapped up like a pretzel,
Yep.
and that you couldn't get out of. And I was like, this probably is not for me. So
And
I wasn't as committed to the wrestling program as a lot of those guys were. But
well,
yeah,
you were
shout
put
out.
into a move and you couldn't breathe, and you just had your head smashed or your cheek smashed into the mat. Ugh.
Well, back in the day, now I graduated in '94,
Yeah,
and
okay.
and even before that, now we had headgear, but you had some of the older guys that wrestle, and you can still see them in college. They have the cauliflower ear where they get their ears
Hmm.
poked across the mat a couple times, but
Well, of course you can get that taken care of, but that's a badge of honor.
yeah, but yeah, now that is a wholesome sport. That will teach you a lot of life lessons too. So
Like don't wrestle.
yeah, well, yeah,
But my
just
point was
one
I can
doing it.
still fish nowadays. I'm
Right.
still fishing. I'm in my mid 50s and I'm still fishing, and I love it just as much as I loved it when I was, you know, 14, 12, 8, when I was walking across town to get to these small ponds and the golf courses to fish. I mean, I'm still doing stuff like, well, they kick me off the golf courses nowadays if I try to fish the ponds, but
Yeah. Well, I don't think any of us. I think looking back on it, if every day when you launch that boat, I think every one of us has had the thought process that we're leaving, going into the final day of the Bassmasters Classic. I mean, and we play out that day in our mind while we're fishing out there. I know growing up I did, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to fish on the pro trail back in the day, back in the 99, 2000, 2001 era. Don't look my record up because it wasn't that good, but
well,
I've been fortunate enough to do that, and being in this business, I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of great anglers and a lot of legendary guys in the sport, and learned a lot from them, and the way they go about doing things, and there's a huge difference between weekend guys and guys that do it every single day. You know.
remember about those tournaments. For every guy who wins on the Bassmaster Opens, there's 209 guys who don't.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. So that just it makes you appreciate and understand the hard work and sacrifice of those that are really consistent, especially those guys that end up winning AOIs, and uh, the hard work that goes into that.
And I
It's a
thought I was one of
good
the
deal.
best fishermen ever because I had guided for 10 years. Then I started fishing the BFL, and I learned how much I have to learn.
Right. Well, and I guess I can't remember in late '90s, whenever the first year Everstart came out. I was
Hmm.
running an 18-foot Bumblebee with a 150 because the Bassmaster
Sure.
capped at 150s, and I started fishing Everstart, and they didn't have a cap on horsepower. And I took that Bumblebee down to Okeechobee, and I come out of Okatani and went across the lake, and I was like, I need a bigger boat, you know.
Oh yeah,
So it
Okeechobee
was,
can get rough.
yeah, it was. They got a Toyota Central, um, coming up down there. So I know a lot of our pro staffers are headed that way to do some
Oh,
practicing or have a tournament.
It's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Well, hey, Roger, do you have any shout outs you'd like to do? Any thank yous, any companies, people, organizations?
Well, like I said, if you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area this weekend, I think that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can come by and see our new stuff. As far as shout outs go, man, I mean, I have to give praise to all my pro staffers, really. I mean, I know I talked about the men and women that help here, that build, Crusher Lures and build other brands and put their heart and soul in it. I appreciate their hard work every day and trying to bring a good quality product to the fishing industry. But I guess, with the signing of Jamie Hartman,
Yes.
puts us on a little bit more recognizable area. Cliff Crochet, we still have Kyle Monty on his guide, and he have designed a product with us. He's still on the team. It'd be hard to list all the pro staffers
Sure.
that do such a good job, but I'm thrilled to have every one of them, all of them that's on the different trails and different divisions of whether it's BFLs or whether it's fruit jar tournaments. Man, I tell you what, I really got to, Dustin Lindsay down in Saraland runs a wrap crusher boat, and he, that guy, he's been with us for a while now, and he's done a really good job promoting our company. And they'll tell you, and speaking real fast about that as a shout out is companies look for guys that really go above and beyond. Everybody's wanting something free and everybody's wanting entry fees paid, but not a lot of them are willing to work for it. And I'm proud to have a pro staff contingency that works for it. I know these guys tell me they get stopped at gas stations. I know Kevin Timms got stopped at the ramp the other day, and they take their time out. They're tired. They fished all day. John Pollard will tell you, when you've had a bad day on the water, you just want to go home, but somebody, a kid or somebody that hadn't seen a crusher lure and you got it down the side of your boat and they ask you about it, and those guys taking the time out of their time to, go over a product that we make and help grow a company that, puts them a little bit a part of. I really do appreciate all their hard work.
Well, I'd like to do a couple of shout outs then, to Rob Welsh and James Simmons, because they're the guys.
James Simmons, yeah, he's a good
I've
one,
fished
too.
with James, and we're going to fish again together, and those two guys are the guys who told me about Crusher Lures, and they're doing a good job. They're out there beating the bushes and telling everybody that will, like I said earlier, like everybody will stand still long enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's what you got to do if you're going to market.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, the more you get out, the more you can sell.
Yep, and coming on shows like this, and
Yeah, we really appreciate you. I think it's our third time being on, and hopefully we'll do it again. We enjoy coming on and giving little updates about the growth of the company, and we've got some stuff that hopefully we'll be able to announce in the summer that is really big deals too. So.
Well, I'm growing my podcast too, so we're growing together, man, and that's how we help each other.
Right.
Well, with that, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know this is sports show season, and boy, you guys on tackle manufacturers are busier than you probably should be during this time, but you have to be.
Right.
If you're not busy, you're not growing in this business. So I'd like to thank you for coming on the show, taking time out of your. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Let's Talk Fishing video podcast with very special guest, Roger from Crusher Lures.
Thank you.